It's Week 15 of the National Football League, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Ravens and the reigning NFC champs, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 22.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago. This crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Ravens in this matchup. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going. And we are underway from Santa Clara. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 80 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
2nd and 6. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. So here are the 49ers, and their offense in great field position already. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Mitchell. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Sermon. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Lance now on 3rd and goal. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. T.Y. Hilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit. Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44.
This is too easy right here.
And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's going deep for Brown. And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. There was no one around him, but he took his eye off it, and it falls incomplete. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep is T.Y. Hilton. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And taken right at the 35. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag, and he'll do so here. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They'll run on 1st down. Mitchell. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The numbers last week for Mitchell. 13 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
From the gun, it's Lance. That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Sly on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I'd get a few more yards if I just lowered my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They run the option on second down. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On play action, they'll throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Casey. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. 21-0 our score after 1. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now back to throw. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
They'll set up to throw. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. His fourth rushing touchdown on the campaign, number 7 overall. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The CD, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category, and that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you, and let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to it, and that's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And as we check the next-gen stats, he certainly earned his yardage there as he wound up running better than 90 yards that time. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed, but as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Oh, you're so right about that, but even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And some space here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Hey, that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Dobbins.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, 2nd quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Working from the gun, Lance. And this one nearly picked off. Well, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Second and 10. Off of play action, here's Lance. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Adafe Owe drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
A 62-yard attempt.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half as they'll take over with just under a minute left to play until the break. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they scored a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and a rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
On play action, Lance. They'll roll him out right. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the 49ers continue to pull away here in this first half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And unfortunately for him, this montage, not highlights,
lowlights in this one, partner?
Way too many mistakes, too many errors. Sometimes it's on the guy throwing the ball, sometimes it's on the teammates, but it all comes back to him. It goes on his ledger. So when you're playing this type of a game, you start to look for other ways to get out of it. Do you throw it to shorter passes, some check downs, maybe you...
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 19 and into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that will extend this big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. They'll start with the option.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front as that game draws closer to halftime. Rondale Moore, a touchdown reception. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Michael Gallup, up near 100 yards receiving with a touchdown as well. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And that game all even as they host the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Next, they look at the next-gen stats for the Ravens in that first half, and not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Niners, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half.
Taking it about the 1. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here.
You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards, obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Throwing is Hurts.
On the move to his left. Room here to run. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
That's into the hands of Dwelly. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On second down, a run with Breida. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
They go play action with Hurts.
Flush to his right. They find some open field here. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Remember, we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this from both of these guys running the ball well?
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
Throw left side complete to Isabella. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there unsuccessful, and that means that he'll be out of challenges for the remainder of this ball game.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer.
And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback And they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Steps away to his left. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Being chased out left. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and that will come the offense as they take over.
Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out.
He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game.
Well, certainly they want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good 1st step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Hurts sets up to throw it. This to the outside, it's Sermon.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
If anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
On 1st down, Hurts.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now a give running left is Breida. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Decided to hit it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Here's Hurts to throw.
That'll be complete to Breida. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger.
So this drive maybe didn't end with the same kind of success they had in the first half, but they do add 3 to their lead.
And defensively, I think they went in there at halftime and made a pact with each other and said, look, we can't let these guys keep driving it right down our throats. Not perfect giving up 3, but a much better start than the way they played in the first half.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
And that'll be complete to Dobbins.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Well, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, the 49ers settling in for their next drive.
We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open. A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hurts.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Hey, we gonna do what we do.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Looking deep for Hilton. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts.
Gets this one to use check. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run for the first with Sermon.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that will be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 1. Quick slant to Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw again.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And not able to get it that time. He hit on 6 straight passes. Not there, second down. They'll look to throw again. And this is caught. It's Brown. And the Ravens are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Niners, the win is their 8th on the year, and they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.
22 on EA Sports. And today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the reigning NFC champs and the Steelers. And it's coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Now, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They'll try the left side. Mitchell. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Off of play action, here's Lance. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game?
First drive of the game and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone?
Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Pulled in at the 24. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Jackson on first down. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. A look at the numbers for Harrison last week's game. 18 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 24-yard line. On first down, it's Harris, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that makes this a 9-point game. A 10-play drive that time. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Lance. Flushed out right. And Lance will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run on first down. Mitchell. And he's got some space here. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. 47 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And
And he's got his big tight end here. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. And that'll set them back 5. Boy, they had it at the 1. The false start moves it to the 6 now for 1st and goal. Here's Lance to throw it. The quick slant caught. Touchdown! George Kittle with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the 49ers are back within a score.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Now for the point after. And they're back within a couple at 9-7 now. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. They hand this off to Harris. Oh, and a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Anyone who watched Najee Harris at Alabama knows the kind of strength that this guy runs with, and he's continuing on that path here at the next level.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Jackson. Complete. It's Johnson. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw there hauled in by Claypool. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris His second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Lambo on for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
To throw, it's Lance. Well, same target, same result. It's Kittle.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
Escaping the pressure right. Taking a shot for Samuel.
That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Deebo Samuel. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively.
Slide for the PAT.
And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. Ebron caught left side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. Accelerating, and off he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chase Claypool, 77 yards. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Eluding the pressure right. This will be caught at Samuel. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time.
Well, I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Mitchell. Space to run past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers! Elijah Mitchell with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers are back within a score. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is down to 2. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again.
And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now Jackson on 1st down. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Ebron with it over the middle. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. And Jackson throwing once more. That's swung out wide to Harris.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Here's Lance. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd and 15 now. Lance to the right side. It's caught by Mitchell.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
Rolling to his right.
That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Deebo Samuel in the final seconds of the first half. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. And if you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead is up to 5.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away.
It's a squibber picked up around the 27. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, and it's the Eagles who are out in front. The Eagles locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome, and they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Saints seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. In that game, all tied up with the visiting LA Chargers. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for him because...
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Jackson from the shotgun. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
And that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Harris. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Jackson. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. They'll run on 1st down. Harris. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 18. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
63 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down and 4, Jackson. Now the ball comes loose, and this is going to be 49er football.
Waste of time.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Mitchell. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And Lance now to throw. And this is incomplete. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And incomplete on a deep ball.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded at about the 28. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Play action. It's Jackson. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The sack by the Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler Jason Pierre-Paul. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Lambeau will put this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
It is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Lance. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They're going to run the sweep. It's Samuel. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Here's Lance to throw it. Flush to his right. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now a play fake. Lance checks this one down. It's Mitchell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. And they'll go for it. Lance. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And the 49ers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
To throw, it's Lance.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now a conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
Now Joey Sly for the point after.
And that makes it a 9-point game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Jackson on first down. He finds his man Johnson. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. The Steelers on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Jackson. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Hey, check back 46. Check back 46. No, we changed it. 46, boy. 46. 46 to mine. Let's go, team. Let's go.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Come on, QB, come on. 46 to mine.
Throwing, Jackson.
He's going to let it fly.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down, connecting with Johnson.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily.
Pass complete to Ebron.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now Jackson.
And the catch made by Johnson. A gain of 6 there on first. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game.
Jackson's throw there hauled in by Claypool. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 16. Jackson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. There he goes, left side. Past the 20. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Lance looking to throw it. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. Play action. Now it's Lance. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Lance, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Niners are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
The defense was almost too good on that play. They took away all of his targets. The one thing they forgot, to account for him as a runner, and he's able to tuck it and go for the end zone and get it done.
Sly on for the extra point. And that one could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Trey Lance taking it in himself to cap the drive with a touchdown run. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. It's a squibber picked up around the 27.
Let's go,
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the 49ers, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they'll get another road date next week when they take on Washington. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.